Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peter Likes Books. And first of all, I just want to say thank you to all of you that have DM'd me or commented that you're thankful that I'm posting more regularly over here. It makes me really, really happy. You guys know I love books, I like books, Peter Likes Books, and I'm so happy to be posting more regularly over here. And I've kind of been trying to come up with some different projects that aren't necessarily just book clubs. I have a video that I'm going to announce this week. It's Cozy Mystery Centered. So stay tuned for that. But today I want to talk about the big booktube announcement, the big book club announcement. I want to announce the August books for a true crime book club and Peter's book club, and we have a very special announcement for a true crime book club. So first, I think I'll make you guys wait a little bit about that. We had a really good time yesterday in the live stream for a true crime book club. So for those of you that do not know, we are now hosting the live streams for True Crime Book Club off of the book club Facebook group, which is listed below. All you have to do is join, and then we go live. We announce it like a week or two ahead of when we're going to do it. So we just discussed the May and June books for a true crime book club. We discussed the Lori Vallow, Chad Daybell book, which was the May book, which was called When the Moon Turns to Blood. And then we discussed the June book, which was the John Douglas book, When a Killer Calls, and about Sherry Smith. And then the July book is There Is No Ethan, and we will be discussing that in August. So stay tuned for the announcement of when the live stream will be for that. It's always on a Sunday, and it's always at 4 p.m., just so you know. Okay, so we had a really good time yesterday in the live stream. We went it through both of the books, and we came up with an idea going forward for a true crime book club. So should we get into this? Okay, like I said, we got a really special announcement for True Crime Book Club, so I'm going to make you wait, okay, for that. So let's get into Peter's book club. Well, I did a video a couple days ago last week, asking you guys for your help on what you wanted to read for Peter's book club for the month of August, whether you wanted to read so it's always going to be a cozy mystery or a thriller, because I will tell you, reading Reese Witherspoon's books on Reese's book club, I go over there and I'm like always hoping for a thriller, and she used to post a lot of thrillers, or choose a lot of thrillers, and now it's like every third month is a thriller. So I'm like, okay, on Peter's book club, we're doing a thriller or a cozy mystery. So I asked you guys, and it was like literally every person was like thriller, 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 thriller. Now when I say that, I haven't looked at it in like a day or two. It'll be a bunch of cozy mysteries. But this is what happened last time, because somebody commented and they said, well, you said that last time everybody picked cozy mysteries, but when I looked, everybody said thrillers. Well, what had happened was, that I had looked like the day after I posted the video, and it was like 3 or 4 comments, and they all said cozy mysteries. So I kind of had just gone with that, if you want to know the truth. So this time, though, there were a lot of comments that were asking for thrillers. So I am trying to pick a really, really good thriller for this month. I had like 2 or 3 different ones. I was going to pick the Riley Sager book that just came out, because a couple people mentioned that. I'll be honest with you, I read a couple Riley Sager books. I think I've read 2. I read Final Girls, and what was the other book that I read? Something about an apartment building, living in an apartment building. So I'm not, in all honesty, a huge Riley Sager fan. My best friend, Tanya Jean, she loves Riley Sager's work so much. I am not. She said something like The People Across the Lake was fantastic. I download all of his books when they come out on Audible, because I always think I'm going to read them. But I'm not a huge Riley Sager fan, and this is kind of how it is for me. Like, I think the concept is phenomenal. Like, when I read the synopsis, I'm like, oh my god, this is going to be so good. And the characterization at the beginning is good and things like that. And then it kind of like, it just plateaus for me. Like, every single one of his that I've read, it just kind of plateaus. Like, and I always end up giving it like a 3-star. Like, I just am not like that blown away with it. So, I was going to pick his new one. Then I was going to pick Lucy Foley's new book, Midnight Feast, because Tanya read that, and she said it was really good too. But it got such mixed reviews. It was like every book that I looked at got really, really mixed reviews. And then there was another book, I can't even remember what it was now, that I was going to pick, but it came out earlier in the year, and I was like, so a lot of people will have read this. Well, I had gone through, I think it was like sometime at the beginning of June, and I had screenshot all these books that were coming out this summer that were supposed to be like the best, you know, like new thrillers of the year. And I came across this book, and the book is called, hold on, I have it pulled up right here on my Goodreads, The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. And apparently she's written another thriller before this that was fantastic, and it got a lot of high reviews. I will tell you it's interesting because on Goodreads this book is sitting at 4.4 out of 5 stars. It has 11,561 ratings, so that's a pretty good rating. I mean, that's pretty high, right, for this book. When I was reading the reviews for it, it was very mixed. They were all between like 3 and 5. There were people that were like, this is the perfect summer book. Oh my God, this reminds me of being a kid and reading scary books when I was a kid. This is like the perfect book. I love this. The character development, the storytelling is fantastic. Then there were other people that were like, I really wanted to like this book and I just couldn't get into it. But the majority of it were like 4 and 5 stars. When I went and I looked at the Lucy Foley book and the Riley Sager book, there were a lot of like 1 and 2 stars. So that's why I decided to go with this book. So let's read the synopsis for the book. The book just came out. It's 490 pages, which is a big book for me. So if I'm picking this book, I must really want to read it. It came out July 2nd of 2024, and it's by Liz Moore, like I said. And here is a synopsis. When a teenager vanishes from her Adirondack summer camp, 2 worlds collide early morning. August 1975, a camp counselor discovers an empty bunk. Its occupant, Barbara Van Laar, has gone missing. Barbara isn't just any 13-year-old. She's the daughter of the family that owns the summer camp and employs most of the region's residents. And this isn't the first time a Van Laar child has disappeared. Barbara's older brother similarly vanished 14 years ago, never to be found. As a panic search begins, a thrilling drama unfolds, chasing down the layered secrets of the Van Laar family and the blue-collar community working in its shadow. Moore's multi-threaded story invites readers into a rich and gripping dynasty of secrets and second chances. It is Liz Moore's most ambitious and wide-reaching novel yet. And it was interesting when I read this because a lot of people were like, this book is perfect. This is what you pick up when you are tired of popcorn thrillers and want something that will stretch. And it says on here even, if you are 20%, in and thinking you are not into it, please be patient. The payoff is so worth it. And so when I read that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna read this book. Because I want, like, I'm walking again. I want something like a thriller to watch, or to read. Things like, I'm watching Sister Wives, that's a thriller enough. And I'm also watching Homicide LA right now, which I'm hoping to finish tonight. But anyway, okay, so that's the book for Peter's Book Club. The book, like I said, is called The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. That will be the August book for Peter's Book Club. So the review of that will be up over on this channel the first week of September. Okay, so now let's get to a true crime book club. Are you ready? Okay, so should I make you wait for the decision? Okay, well, first of all, let's talk about the addition that we're doing to a true crime book club. It's going to be really exciting. A lot of people are going to be really excited about it. Okay, so the book that we're reading, this is Mel's suggestion, and I think it looks fantastic. It actually just came out on April 16th of this year, and it's called The Serial Killer's Apprentice. And it's by Catherine Ramsland and Tracy Ullman. So let me read you, it's a very long synopsis. A psychological examination of the blurred line between victim and accomplice and how a killer can be created. Elmer Wayne Henley Jr. was only 14 when he first became entangled with serial rapist and murderer Dean Corley in 1971. Fellow Houston, Texas teenager David Brooks had already been ensnared by the charming older man, bribed with cash to help lure boys to Corley's home. When Henley unwittingly entered the trap, Corley evidently sensed he'd be more use, I'm having a hard time reading this, more use as a second accomplice than another victim. He baited Henley with the same deal he'd given, $200 for each boy they could bring him. Henley didn't understand the full extent of what he had signed up for at first, but once he started, Corley convinced him that he had crossed the line of no return and had to not only procure boys, but help kill them and dispose of the bodies as well. When Henley first took a life, he lost his moral base. He felt doomed. By the time that he was 17, he'd helped with multiple murders and believed he'd killed 2. But on August 8, 1973, he picked up a gun and shot Corley. When he turned himself in, Henley showed police where he and Brooks had buried Corley's victims in mass graves. 28 bodies were recovered, most of them boys from Henley's neighborhood, making this the worst case of serial murder in America at that time. The case reveals gross failures in a way cops handled parents' pleas to look for their missing sons and how law enforcement possibly protected a larger conspiracy. The Serial Killer's Apprentice tells the story of Coral and his accomplices in its fullest form today. It also explores the concept of murdar, the predator's instinct for the exploitable kids, current neuroscience about adolescent brain vulnerabilities, the role of compartmentalization, the dynamic of a murder apprenticeship, and how tales like Henley's can aid with early intervention. Despite his youth and cooperation, Henley went to trial and received 6 life sentences. He's now 65 and has a sense of perspective about how adult perpetrators can turn formerly good kids into criminals. Unexpectedly, he's willing to talk. This book is his warning and the story of the unspeakable evil and sorrow that befell Houston in the early 1970s. I think this book sounds fantastic. I'm really excited to read this because I think I love any book that has like a teaching message behind it, and I also heard that it talks heavily about the victim stories. Okay, so that brings me to, so let me know if you're going to read that in the comment section below, and we will be covering that book in the September live stream for a True Crime Book Club, and we will announce that date down the road. So that brings me to the new edition of what we are doing for a True Crime Book Club. So there was a lot of discussion about documentaries and true crime documentaries when we did the live stream yesterday. There was a lot of people were talking about this true crime documentary and that true crime documentary and what we were watching and who was watching what and all this kind of stuff, right? And so Mel was like, well, and Mel and I had actually talked about this before and just kind of never, you know, decided on it. She said, well, we could pick a documentary to watch, and everybody was like, okay, and not do a book and just read a doc and just watch a documentary. And we were like, no, we'll read a book, but then we'll also pick a true crime documentary. So the true crime document, so going forward every month, starting in August, we will not just have a book that we are reading, a true crime book, but we will also have a true crime documentary that we're reading. Now, for example, if this book had a true crime documentary that matched it, that we thought was good enough to watch, and we hadn't watched it already, we would also, like, we would pair the book up with the documentary, if that makes sense. Like the Lori Vallow book that we just read, there was a fantastic documentary series that was put out about that, so we would match that documentary series up with the book. But for next month, for August, we are going to watch the TikTok star Murder. It is on Peacock. If you don't have Peacock, there's clips of it on YouTube. There's TikToks about it, everything like that. And the reason... Our friend Nikki in the book club, she watched it. She didn't think it was any good. Tanya Jean watched it. She thought it was fantastic. I've heard really mixed reviews about it, but I love to watch anything that is true crime related whatsoever. So it's on Peacock. It just came out this summer, and it says on here, popular TikTok creator Ali Abulaban and his beautiful wife Anna seem like they have it all, but behind the picture-perfect life portrayal online is a relationship filled with domestic violence that falls apart when the abuse takes a deadly turn. And I think this is the, yeah. And it is an hour and 30 minutes. So we will be discussing that in the September True Crime Book Club live stream. I will also, on my Peter Watches TV channel, be doing a review of this documentary as well, because I'm over there covering all TV shows, reality TV shows, true crime documentary series, all that. So when I watch this, I will put up a video reviewing or responding or reacting to that as well. So, let's go back. The Peter's Book Club book for August is the God of the Woods by Liz Moore. For True Crime Book Club, the book for August is The Serial Killer's Apprentice. And the True Crime Book Club documentary for August is the TikTok Star Murders. So, there you go. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let me know what you're going to read, if you're going to watch with us, if you're going to read with us. If you're going to read along for Peter's Book Club, let me know in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.